again, another Furio Watchers video. This one all about hip hop samples taken from music that came out during the 1960s. A lot of people think you've just got to be sampling from the 70s, that's where all the best tracks were coming out. There were some great tracks in the 70s, but some really great ones in the 60s as well. A lot of jazz, a lot of really great soul music. So in this video, we're just going to be looking at a handful of some of my favourite ones. I do have a members only section on the channel for anyone that wants to sign up. If you do, you'll get links to all 6 of my albums out on Bandcamp for free. You can also view some exclusive members only videos where there's not me talking on it, you've just got the samples running straight through. I'm also a scratch DJ for hire. Just finished doing some scratching for someone yesterday. Check out the link to my Fiverr account. You can see the sort of things I do. If you're a producer wanting some scratches laid down, hit me up on the link. Anyway, let's jump in. Let's have a listen to what the first track is.
Georgia, Georgia, we on the grind, Georgia, all the time. It ain't nothing on my mind, but Georgia, we ain't playing with you.
I bet you were expecting a 90s sample there. Thought I'd make it a bit different for this one. It's a Ray Charles sample. That particular track was his very first #1 hit. So Ray Charles, he was blinded during childhood from glaucoma, which is actually something I've got, which is why this eye here is sometimes a bit squinty. I've got better medicine these days, so I ain't gonna go blind from it. Ludacris track as well. So that's off a compilation album, produced by a guy called Voodoo, who started off as a DJ, moved into production, guy from New Orleans, so part of the Dirty South collective. Yeah, nice little sample that one. So let's have a check of the next one.
Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it.
Ahmad Jamal, who sadly lost earlier this year, aged of 92. He has been sampled a huge amount of times. Nas Illmatic album especially likes using samples from him. Such a great pianist, actually started playing the piano age 3. His real name Frederick Jones. That particular album you've heard there, so many real good piano hooks on it, ideal for sampling in hip hop. J. Cole track ATM, one of his bigger hits, it's in the Billboard Top 100, came in at number 6 in that, produced by J. Cole as well. Yeah, great track that one.
Coming evil like an evil, mad like a scientist, moving silky, rhymes are milky, then even milk tea, but niggas try to catch it like a Scooby snack. I lay you flat on your back like an OT sack.
Eric Dolphy, one of the pioneers of playing the bass clarinet as a solo instrument. Great musician. That same track, 17 West, was also sampled by a track called Quest, Sky Pager track. Fu-Schnickens, fairly underground, he did 2 albums in the 90s and then that was it. Really funny group, some of the lyrics are just crazy. If it's not someone you've heard of or listened to, I would recommend you do check them out. Yeah, great track that one. Let's check out what's next.
Set it off. I let it off. I let it off.
Lean with the red eye, mean on the MI, rhyme sharper than the light beam on a Jedi. Heads fly, F the next guy, I your best buy. Shorty like let's ride, took me on a sex drive. NY creep like bars, chili and left eye.
Oh, I really like these library music records. I've said it before, but these were records that were put out specifically for use in film, TV, radio productions. They'd often have different versions of the same track, where maybe one has just got the drums and bass line playing, a full version. So this was called Mood 2. So on this compilation there was Mood 1 and 2. John Barry, famous British composer, did the film scores for lots of the James Bond films. Czarface as well, crazy group, consisted of 7L, Esoteric and Inspector Deck from Wu-Tang. Track produced by Primo as well. You can just tell it's one of his from the drums on it. Proper head nodding beat, that one. Great album. It's the debut album. Give it a check if you've not already. So let's see what the next one is.
Chime, be a part of your mind. Let the rhyme intertwine like a vine. Work your mentally found intellect.
Nancy Wilson and Cannonball Adderley, great musicians, a pair of them, between them nearly 150 albums put out. Cannonball Adderley's definitely been sampled a lot of times in hip hop. OC track Word Life, produced by Buck Wild, and he did used to spell his name as two separate words like that, Buck and then Wild. He's produced some great tracks as well, for the likes of Biggie, Artifacts, Big L. Yeah, he's a great producer, Buck Wild.
Breaking rocks out here on the chain gang. Breaking rocks and serving my time. Rocks out here. D-Block. Rocks out here.
Second and the 16th, I be getting money from the 1st and the 15th. Then I'm bringing up.
Nina Simone, what a voice on her. Been sampled a lot of times as well. Really distinct vocals. Styles P track, unreleased track. Used to go by the name of just Styles. Real name is David Styles. Part of the LOX. Because it was unreleased, just cannot find out who the actual producer of that track was that I would normally show on there. But yeah, interesting sample, that one. Let's see what the next one is.
Race like racism, I'm as large as a bigot. Brew is my escapism. When I'm bubbly, I just kick it. What I need from you is understanding that I'm standing on.
The Jonah Jones Quartet. He was a trumpet player. Common track when he went by his original name Common Sense. I've said this in another video. He wanted to use that name Common Sense, and there was a reggae group with the same name who sued him over the copyright of it, forced him to drop the sense off the end, and from then on he's just used the name Common. Crazy producer name on there. The Late Show's Why Not Nevertheless. Not only just uses the name Why Not, but on that had that long name listed. He's worked a lot with Common, produced a lot of his tracks on his albums.
The protectors of the moon and Makiba, and all true believers, volcanic eruptions, weapons of mass destruction.
Sample there off one of the many Godzilla soundtracks. RZA vs Bobby Digital. Kind of a crazy name because Bobby Digital is the RZA. Produced by DJ Scratch. He actually produced that entire album, and he's done some big tracks as well. Probably most famous, Give Me Some More by Busta Rhymes that sampled the Psycho theme music. Let's see what the next track is.
Don't play it no more.
Listen to the simple De La style I'm gonna sing. It's strongly directed to all the misery you're bringing.
Benny King, probably known for his huge hit Stand By Me. De La Soul track, produced by Prince Paul. He produced that entire album, that debut album of theirs. So they probably got him to thank for all those uncleared samples that caused them all those issues. Thankfully that's all sorted out now, and you can get their albums on the streaming services like Spotify. Let's see what's next up.
are those who survive epidemics. There are those who thrive in hard times.
Miles Davis, legendary jazz musician, been sampled hundreds and hundreds of times, done some great music during his career. Neruvian Doom, which is Bishop Nehru and MF Doom together, produced by MF Doom under one of his many aliases, Metal Fingers Doom. Great little album, that one, if you've not checked it. I am a big fan of MF Doom, someone that I got to see live many years ago. Yeah, great rapper, great producer.
On my mind, keep it real, Shaolin, represent one. All my people, are you with me where you at?
Sarah Vaughan, great jazz singer from New Jersey, from Newark. Method Man track, first of the Wu-Tang members to do a solo album, all produced by RZA. Many great tracks on that debut album of his. Not listened to it in a while, so I should dig it out in my record collection, give that another check. Yeah, great album. Let's see what's next up.
Mommy, you can play Ripley, so believe it or not. I shoot gifts like Heron with skills of Gil Scott. Nights like Lancelot could get heated.
So we showed a sample earlier from Eric Dolphy. Well, he was actually part of this quintet that you just heard the sample from. De La Soul track off the Stakes is High album from '96. Main producer on that, OG. He's worked a lot with OC. He's also worked with Sada X. Not a particularly well-known producer, but he has produced some good tracks in his time.
Anyone who ever loved and know that I love you.
Coldest to the warmest, to the borders, cross the waters, understand. Yeah, we got love in the place. Yeah.
Dionne Warwick, amazing singer, still going strong, age 82 years old. Her actual surname should be spelt with a double R, but there was a spelling mistake on a hit single that she put out, so she ended up changing the spelling of it to match that. She's also the cousin of Whitney Houston, great singer, been sampled a lot of different times as well. Mos Def track, Talib Kweli featured on it, real good track that off the Black on Both Side album. Produced by Ayatollah, sometimes goes by the name DJ Cool G on his productions. I know some people have slated me before and said that wasn't produced by DJ Cool G, who the hell's that? Same person. Check your credits and you'll know that I am right. Yeah, check the credits for Ms. Fat Booty 12-inch release and you will see who was actually properly listed as the producer on there.
Love story, with the guts and glory. Guess a high price shorty, dollar signs when you saw me. Having naughty intentions with y'all.
Bud Shank, Claire Fisher and Joe Pass. Real nice jazz album, that one. Joe Pass, such a great guitarist, that's been sampled as well. Pete Rock track, Mind Blowing, off his Soul Survivor LP. Great album, that one. Most of it produced by him. Another great track on it. His brother, Crap Lover, produced as well. Definitely worth a check if you've not listened to that album.
Trapped in the cockpit at 40,000 feet. The sky is the limit, but we supersede.
John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman. John Coltrane, great jazz musician. Johnny Hartman, great vocalist. Pharcyde packed the pipe off the very first album. I've seen the Pharcyde a few times. Last time I saw them, they played that first album from start to end, every track off it, and then they dropped a few of the other big hits, like Drop off the second album. Went to an after party, got to hang out with them. They got on the turntables, got a bit of a party going. Yeah, great night that one, definitely. Let's see what the next track is.
Irresponsible, no focus. I owe this advice strips. I rip
George Benson, brother Jack McDuff. George Benson's really great guitar player. Brother Jack McDuff, famous sample on Scenario by A Tribe Called Quest. Souls of Mischief, great album from the 90s, 93 till Infinity. Another highly recommended one to anyone that hasn't actually heard it already. Go out, give it a check. Such a great album from the 90s.
Hear me roar, Timberland tree, weed galore. MCs with gusto, y'all ain't never seen before. El Producto, past that, you puff too slow.
Barbara and the Browns, which was two brothers and two sisters together in that group. Never did any albums, just put some singles out in the 60s and one in the 70s, and that was it. That track, you just hear that and know instantly that has got to be sampled. You can just tell it's going to just flip so well. Produced by True Master, he's worked a lot with Wu-Tang and the individual members. Producer of Brooklyn Zoo by Old Dirty as well. So yeah, he's produced some really good stuff. Let's check out what's next.
I've been running ever since. It's been a long.
Yo, sometimes I be looking through the darkness. Peer through the window of gloom and everyday living, and all the hardships one faces to make you give.
Another track produced by True Master, Guru on the co-production. Jazzmatazz album, great album that. He's someone else that I got to see as part of the Jazzmatazz tour back in the 90s, and I've also seen Gang Starr as well. Yeah, great work.
Trust me, I'm as live as it gets.
So we listened to a John Barry sample earlier off that Library Music record. Mentioned that he also does soundtracks. Well, this is just one of many soundtracks that he's done. Sample for Gang Starr off the Owners album. Works so well that with a beat behind it and those real nice cuts, the scratching over the top by Primo. Yeah, great track. Let's see what the next one is. Scenario by Tribe Called Quest. I've shown the main sample from Brother Jack McDuff very recently, so I'm not showing it again in this one, but those drums, so distinct from Jimi Hendrix, works so well. Guy called Mitch Mitchell that was the drummer, British guy. Yeah, real distinct drum pattern that one, and I think it just adds so much to that track. Great 90s track.
Bass for your face, highs for your eyes, don't blink, black ink is a rhyme. All rise, rude boys, keep that thing at your side, be alright.
Expecting something else? Yeah, I know that sample is also used earlier. De La Soul, Ego Tripping Part 2. Thought I'd mix things up a bit, throw the Roots track in there. Roots are a really good hip hop group. Seen them live at least once, maybe twice, I can't remember now. Al Hurt, great musician, great trumpet player, released nearly 100 albums, been sampled a fair bit as well in hip hop, done some great stuff.
You look so sweet and fine.
Yeah, we put them things in the air. When I drop a single, it's really like a pair of Air Jordans, important to the culture.
Doris and Kelly, so one of the members of that was Herman Kelly. He's most famous for his track Dance to the Drummer's Beat. Huge hip hop anthem, b-boy anthem, that one for breaking to. Been sampled a hell of a lot of times as well. Common track, nice track that by Common. Produced by No ID. No ID's worked a lot with Kanye, Jay-Z. Good producer.
Drifting back to the
the times I heard her say, suddenly, was it real or just a dream?
The Circle, which were an American rock group from the 60s, they were discovered and managed by Brian Epstein, who was also the manager of the Beatles, and it was actually John Lennon that named them in that weird way of spelling circle. Tribe Called Quest track, produced by the Umar, which was Q-Tip, Ali Shaheed Muhammad and JD or J Dilla. Absolute great combo on the production for that. Really, really great track, that one. So that's the end of it. End of the video. This is just a selection of some of the great samples from the 60s. So many more that could have been included. If you've enjoyed it, drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe to see more. If you want to see just straight up videos with no talking, join up as a member on my channel, get my albums for free as well. And again, thanks for watching.